Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you all had an excellent new year. This video is going to be different. We've been dealing with an arsehole neighbour for the last 7 years. He's ramped it up in the last sort of year since I've been working away. You'll probably see him. You can see the house over my shoulder behind me, that yellow monstrosity. It would be good to get your input on how you think we should be dealing with the issues we've got with him. So it's the 28th of December and it's winter and we're having a braai.
Yeah.
The pyromaniac's in charge.
Dis nie lekker nie.
But it's true. You never like the truth. All the boys in South Africa would be horrified.
I think they'd be quite happy. It's more time for them to drink.
So, while Mandy's braaiing, I thought we could give you a little bit of a chat and ask your advice. We live in the middle of the countryside, as you're probably aware, with one neighbour who is an absolute arsehole, it has to be said. He takes exception to the fact that our dog barks during the day. Now, when we've got shooters coming around all around us, shooting little birds, what for, I don't know, it drives her nuts. He doesn't like that. He seems to go to bed at about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Our dog's inside by that time. But he's, over the last year...
Since you've gone away?
Well, primarily, yeah. Over the last year, particularly since I've been away, he's been voicing his dissatisfaction by using his car hooter at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, or his house alarm, which...
Let's get it straight. We started off May last year, where he used to set his house alarm off in the daytime for about an hour. And then he progressed to setting it off at 4:15, when he got no reaction.
In the morning.
At 4:15 a.m. He got no reaction. He then upped the ante by setting off his car alarm. As well as the house alarm. When he got no reaction, and I'm saying got no reaction as I didn't let him know I was awake, he then moved it up to parking the car quite close down here and getting onto the hooter. We'll let you know that we'll throw the noise in for... The fellow bought himself a toy.
But then he upped the ante when he wasn't getting the reaction he was hoping for. And he obviously went and bought a Klaxon, one of these electric sirens. And he was setting that off as well and still not getting a reaction. And then Mandy said it seemed to be getting louder. Well, I got home last week, Friday.
Hang on, hasn't finished. So that was 4:15 until 6:15. Each time would be about 20 minutes. Then 5-10 minute break. Obviously it's got to charge up. And then he decided to start at 2:30. Now my poor mother only goes to bed between midnight and 2, so she's not getting sleep. Just saying. Okay.
So I got home last week, Friday. There was nothing the Friday night, I don't think.
No, so I thought he knew that you were home.
Then on Saturday, Ellie was out barking because there were shooters. And then Saturday night, hunters, shooters, whatever they do. They're not hunters. Hunters hunt animals, not little baby morsies. You know what I mean? I don't know what they do with them.
Yeah.
Whatever, that's what they're called, morsies, little birds. And then the alarm, the klaxon went off at about
4:15.
4:15. So I got pissed off. I woke up, I got dressed, and I went out our front gates to go around and start launching rocks through his windows. But then I realized that the noise wasn't coming from the house. So I came down in this abandoned property over here behind us. And what he'd done is he'd screwed the klaxon onto a plank of wood and he'd leaned it against his wall just a couple of meters away from this boundary wall here. So I ripped the thing over the wall and threw it on the ground, saw sparks, and it stopped making a noise, and I went back to bed. Now, in preparation for this, I have to let you know, I bought a hand crank klaxon. and brought it back with me. So nothing happened the next night. I was going to go and give him some of his own medicine, but I thought, okay, we'll leave it. Let's see what happens. The next night it started again. So I got dressed, went round, looking for this thing, and the idiot had leaned it up against the wall in the same place. Obviously, he must have thought the heavy winds had blown it over or whatever. Anyway, I dragged it across and I proceeded to smash this thing against the wall multiple times, like swinging a baseball bat. Nothing the next night. Then I think that next day, the day after that, he set his house alarm off at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I thought, that's it. Waited for them to go to bed. At about 10 o'clock, went through the abandoned property, right outside their bedroom window, and set the Klaxon off. Hand cranked for a while, stopped, gave it 10 minutes for them to go back to sleep, cranked it again, stopped, and while I was waiting, I heard him fumbling around in his yard with a little torch, come around to see what was going on. Didn't see anything, went back to bed, gave it a bit more, cranked it again, then came back through the property, left it for a while, and went round the other side and cranked it from that side. We haven't heard anything from him since.
I think he broke his toy.
I broke his toy. Maybe he's ordering a new one. But am I being ridiculous? Is it fair that because our dog barks, he can intimidate my mother-in-law, who's 84 years old, and my wife, who's almost 100?
101.
Especially when I'm not here. How would you handle it? Drop a comment below and let us know what you think.
The other thing is, that poor lady has lived through the Second World War and remembers that noise and running to bomb shelters. So, I don't know. Cuckoo.
So when we initially moved into this property, we inherited a stray dog that had been living in the ruins. So we fed it, but we had no control over it. This dog did what it wanted. We decided what we'd do is we'd enclose the property, try and keep it in the property and domesticate it.
Cheers, people. Happy New Year.
Cheers. But unfortunately, this dog can jump an 8-foot wall.
That dog could jump.
And he used to come and complain about the dog barking. It was a stray dog that lived here. It didn't go in the house. Only when it was hot in summer, it would go and sleep in the cinema room. And apparently the dog was barking so loudly one night that he felt it necessary to come and ring our gate intercom at 4:30 in the morning. Now the dog had apparently chased a cat up the tree outside our bedroom. We didn't hear it. Maybe we'd had quite a bit of wine, whatever, who knows. Maybe his problem is he doesn't drink enough wine. And he rang the gate at 4:30 in the morning. Now in my derricka state, in my confused state, I hit the wrong button and I opened the automatic gate. So I believe the dog chased him all the way home. He's never rung our doorbell again. So, positive note. He did in fact ask for our phone number, but I was not a chance going to give him that because I knew what kind of person he was by this stage. We first moved in here. First thing out of his mouth was, "Oh, the dog's barking." I said, "Well, what do you want me to do? Dogs bark. Must I kill the dog?" He just looked at me. And then the next thing out of his mouth was, "I need to stop smoking." I mean, who does that?
Oh, and to get rid of those trees.
Yeah, and to poison trees and just, anyway.
Can we put a wall up?
Freak. That dog disappeared after a while.
Oh, about a year.
About a year later, that dog disappeared. Then we didn't have any dogs until we found Ellie.
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
And look at her.
6-week-old pup.
She's so beautiful, hey? Yes. But Italians are terrified of her.
Yeah. And she doesn't like anybody that doesn't speak English, so. Yeah. Yes. Daddy's baby, hey? Mommy's guard dog. Now, when this latest saga started, Mandy started recording on her phone and also making a note of what times this was all happening.
Wait.
See all the saliva drooling down her mouth.
My beautiful dog sleeps with me on the bed, and it's so bad that when Cloud gets home, he really doesn't have anywhere to sleep. Hey, Belly Boo. Okay.
But at least someone's here to guard you while I'm not here.
Not that I need guarding. It's the safest place I've ever lived in.
You think she's here to guard you. She's here to make sure you don't have any boyfriends around. So this is the route I took when I went to pay the neighbour a visit with my hand crank Klaxon. Out the back gate into Tier 1, bearing in mind it's pitch dark at the time I went across at 10 o'clock. And then through this gate into Tier 2. Stumbled through here. And then hopped this wall over here. Now I'm not going to walk all the way through, I'll just zoom in. You can see those big trees over there. I walked all the way through there and hid behind those trees there, which is right outside his bedroom window, and cranked a few times. Bearing in mind it's pitch black at this stage. After I was woken up by the klaxon with the intention of smashing windows and going apeshit. This is the first route I took. Pitch black, because I didn't want to give my position away with a torch through the gate. Now bearing in mind I've never been on this property next door, so I didn't know the lay of the land at all. Italians love to dump rubbish. It's disgusting. And then cruised up here. I'm not going to go all the way through in case he sees me. But down there in the corner, that's roughly, okay, there, leaning up against that wall over there. That's where he had the klaxon. That's a better view. The second pillar away from our wall, I'll just zoom in a bit more. So right about there between the pole and that first pillar you can see on his wall. So, it's been 7 days since I smashed his toy and 5 days since I gave him a taste of his own medicine. So far, we've not heard a peep out of him. Hopefully it's not just because he's waiting for me to bugger off so he can terrorize the two girls on their own again. Drop a comment below if you had similar issues with nasty neighbors and let us know how you dealt with them.
Happy New Year. May 2025 be good to you.
And lots of sunshine, no clouds. Take care, everybody. Ciao.
Ciao.